I know there's about 15 guys who played against UNLV in 2018, and I want to know how much do you remember that game and what happened there?
I remember that game a little bit. It was an exciting game. I was excited to be back home. It was my first time playing back home, just being in college. And it was exciting for that aspect. But at the same time, we were still in our championship run back in at that time, and it was a fun game. It was like electric game, but it was in the old stadium. So now we're excited to play in the new one.
One thing I want to ask you about, you guys were heavy favorites in that game, and yet they beat you guys by 3. Do you think you overlooked them at all, or what was about that game, and what can you learn from that experience that applies now?
I think we had a little bit of underestimation about them, and we just know now we can't do that, especially with the team they have now. We definitely can't overlook them and can't underestimate them, which I feel like we might have done in the past.
Is there a tendency to look at a team that's struggling and maybe look past them, or what do you do to keep the focus?
It's kind of natural to look at the record and say, oh, 2-8. But when you look at these guys on film, these guys are some studs. They got some guys up front that are good. They got athletic guys in the backfield and in the secondary. So when you look at these guys on film, they're a good team, and their record doesn't show what they can do. And we've seen that they've lost some close games. So we know that they're a good team, and you can look at their record and say, oh, they're not that good, but really they're a pretty good team.
And I want to ask you about that touchdown catch. You guys initially went for the field goal and then decided to go for it. What kind of went down on that play? And obviously you must have been happy that you guys went for the TD instead of the field goal.
Yeah, no, it was exciting. We weren't sure what the flag was at first eventually because they had some holding penalty or something, and we thought it was going to be an automatic first down, so we thought we were going to have at least 3 shots to get in the end zone. But then we realized it was 4th and goal. We just had 1 shot, and it was a good play call by Coach Heck, and it was just exciting because we practiced that play 3 or 4 times every week in practice. So I'm finally glad that we got to use it.
You feel like the offense is starting to turn a corner a little bit, or where's things headed with the offense?
We're settling down a little bit. We're trusting our quarterback more. We're trusting Lucas more. We always trust him in the past, but he's finally shown some more poise and bringing our team together and showing a lot of leadership on the field, which is awesome. And we're really kind of just bringing it together now.
Thank you.
John. Hey, Daniel, I appreciate the time. Take us through just from your perspective, when you're in a drive like the one you guys needed, you're down 21-20, it might be your last chance to get the football. What changes, if anything, from your perspective when you're trying to put a drive together?
Nothing really changes. Our emphasis all week was just one play at a time. One play at a time, one play at a time, one play at a time was just engraved in our heads. When we went out there, that was the message. It was, hey, let's just get one play at a time, one first down at a time, and we'll get where we need to.
What's it like when you're on the other side? Is there a helpless feeling when, you guys score and now Nevada's driving? That they can either win it or they can lose it, or your defense can win it or lose it. What's it like just watching as a spectator as the game comes to, a conclusion?
I think for ourselves and any fan, it's definitely nerve-wracking, and it definitely brings up the blood pressure a little bit, and we're like, man, but we have faith in our defense. I have tremendous faith in our guys in the field, and we just know that all we can do is help them and make sure that we give the calls that they need and just make sure that we support them.
What did you think overall from what the defense was able to do to Carson Strong? I know obviously you don't play on that side of the ball, but what did you think of the performance overall?
Tremendous job. I got to shake every one of those guys' hands. They did a tremendous job all game. You see it all over the place. They say Carson Strong, he's going to be a first rounder, a top 3 quarterback in the conversation all across the nation. And our defense, they did a great job. We had a great plan. Coaches did a great job, and our players just executed.
Great. Thank you.
Bryce? Yeah, hi, Daniel. Just curious from your perspective, we were talking with Coach Hoke a minute ago about Cameron and Zachary being brothers on the same team, and he revealed that he has some fun with that in practice when one of them's playing well or the other one isn't playing well. What's it like having those guys face each other in practice? And I'm sure there's some funny moments.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely funny. Coach Hoke, he's a great guy, funny guy, and but those guys they're kind of electric. It kind of excites the team, when these guys go against each other. I see them before and after practice going one-on-ones with each other, and their effort to be better makes me want to be better, makes the other teammates want to be better. So it's kind of just like a drive thing. Their drive makes us want to be better, and it's fun and exciting.
We were talking to Coach Oak a little bit ago about you and Zachary being on the same team, and just because of your positions, not just being on the same team, but facing each other. And he said he has a little fun with what's that like when it's going on in practice. You're competitive, but he's kind of stirring the pot a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Oak definitely likes to mess around with the both of us. But yeah, I'm very lucky to be able to have the chance to play ball with my brother. Yeah, there's always I love to compete. I'd always have a chip on my shoulder when I do. But when it's against Zach, it goes more than that. It goes to that next step, and yeah, it's just really exciting and fun to be able to do that. And me and Zach, after practice sometimes, we'll go over. Being that he's on the offensive side of the ball, I'm on the defense, we kind of give each other different looks of what we expect throughout the week and kind of have our own little game plan building up and stuff like that. And, I'm just very lucky to be able to have them to do that.
Does that competitiveness come up over watching TV at night, or somebody just throws out a one-liner?
It's just natural at this point, yeah.
And the last thing is, Coach was talking about this, and I don't remember the story, but maybe others do. What happened on the snowboarding thing where you hurt your back before you came to San Diego State?
Yeah, I tend to try to forget about that. No, I just went out and I haven't been snowboarding out in a while, and I tried to do something that I haven't done in a while. I went off a jump, and it just didn't go out as how I used to, or at least as I planned.
And just for background, where was that at?
That was at Big Bear.
All right. Thank you.
Kirk. Hey, Cam, I want to ask you about playing a 2-8 team. What does it take to maintain a focus and maybe not look past a team like that or take them for granted?
Yeah, I've watched this team several times throughout the season, and their record does not show who they are. I think they're a really good team. Their running back this week ran for over 250 yards. Yeah, it doesn't matter who that's against. Like that is very impressive, and we must keep our edge this week and not look past them, and go out there and execute.
You ever look at the history between a couple teams? Two of San Diego State's biggest losses in program history were against UNLV. Do you guys ever kind of look at some of the history and think about helping that make you guys focus even more?
Yeah, I try to never really consider it. We have to go out there every game and just play our hardest and our best.
What's it take to is it kind of human nature to maybe look at the bigger matchups, which would be maybe 2 weeks from now in Boise State or earlier against some of the Pac-12 teams? What's it take to kind of maintain a focus from week to week on who you have right at hand coming up on Friday?
Yeah, I think, every game's exciting, and, every game is going to have different values and stuff like that. Obviously playing a Pac-12 opponent versus playing whoever it is in the conference, they're all very important games for us to, go out and win that 22nd championship.
Thank you.
All right, we'll wrap up with John.
Cam, what does it mean to you to get that defensive player of the week honor in the Mountain West?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Coach Maddox, the rest of the defensive staff. They set up a great game plan this week, and I just went out and executed. I'd also like to thank the secondary because, the sacks I had, those were coverage sacks.
What allowed you to, get to the quarterback the way you were? Obviously, Carson Strong maybe isn't as mobile as some of the other quarterbacks. You seem to take advantage of that because you tracked him down from some far distances this weekend.
Yeah, we knew going into the game that he was injured, and we had a three-man rush going for the majority of the game. We had a three-man rush, and like I said, I just really had to trust in the secondary to hold them down, and they did that, and I just gave me more time to get to them.
Speaking of your secondary, specifically those final two plays on defense, the 3rd and 2 stop and the 4th and 2 stop. I want to say both of those plays, and correct me if I'm wrong, is a 3-man rush on both of those plays. What'd you think of the play? What'd you think of the plays that were made in the secondary on those?
Oh, they were fantastic. I didn't get to see them in person because I was focused on getting to my rush. But no, that was just very exciting and such an exciting win. I was just very happy. It was a great team win.
Great, thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
Okay, Darnay, and then we'll wrap this up.
Hey Cam, you mentioned the 3-man rush. What is it like when the game plan going in is you're not going to be getting a whole lot of help in terms of getting the quarterback, and it's up to you guys to generate the pressure?
Yeah, obviously puts a lot more pressure on us. We really that's where your efforts got to pick up higher and higher, because three-man rush, you're not going to have the help that we usually do with our defense, because we're always throwing guys in there. We just really trust the D-line. I think we really trust with and one another, and I think it paid off.
Like John said, it seemed like you were chasing Carson all night. How would you describe those moments where you're trying to catch him from behind? He obviously knows his internal clock is winding down. He could get rid of it at any point, but you have a chance to make a play. What's it like kind of in those moments?
They all go so fast, when you're in that moment, but just busting out to your full extent of effort, and you don't know what's going to happen. For me, I had one sack where he was getting ready to throw the ball. I didn't know whether or not I was going to get to him in time, but I just didn't stop and just went full speed, and luckily enough, I got to him before he got the ball out.
It seemed just from watching the game that their touchdown drive in the third could have been a momentum swing. Then you guys force a 3-and-out the next time. They have that explosive touchdown in the fourth quarter. You get them off the field the next time. What was it like kind of on that roller coaster ride, the ups and downs, and how proud are you that you guys didn't let them really seize that momentum in the second half?
Yeah, I think the defense did a great job holding it together, We all had faith in one another, and, I knew the offense was trusting us, and, it just, it all worked out really well in the end. We held our composure throughout the whole game, and we kept our eyes, we kept our focus and our eyes down the field, and,